All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our team call. My name is Stephanie Richardson. For those that don't know me, I am the mama bear. I'm the one that started inviting people 11 years ago this month to coaching. So can you believe it? I don't know much I've done for 11 years. And so I am so excited to have you guys on the call tonight. This is... I'm recording it. Okay, so I am just going to go dive right in because there's a lot to cover tonight. So I've had two epiphanies this week. One was I was sitting in my bath listening to Bonnie Ingles' call the other day, and one of the epiphanies that I kind of thought was, I am not alone. She talked about how she was very comfortable doing Facebook. That's what she did. That's what she liked. And she was like, I just was comfortable there. And she said to learn Instagram and Insta stories just seemed daunting to me. And let me tell you guys, after being a coach for 11 years and having to reinvent myself over and over and over and try new things so many times, I mean, I could tell you, we'd be here all night for me to tell you all the things that I've tried over the past 11 years, most that did not work. And, but, you know, for me to want to try to, you know, move forward, it seemed very daunting, you know, but I knew I needed to do that for my team, and I knew I needed to do that for growth. If I didn't want to stay the same, I want to be a 15-star team. And so in order to do that, I have to change what I'm doing. And so I could really relate to what Bonnie had to say of like, it's daunting. And so I was like, hey, I'm not alone, and feeling like some of this is daunting. And maybe you're on this call and you've been trying things and you feel like it's daunting. Coaching is daunting. I want you to know that you are not alone and that we are going to figure this out together. Okay. So first off, I want you to know that we are not alone. The second thing is we can totally do this. No one has any more skills than us. I mean, maybe they have more skills, but we definitely can do this. So I have been asked a couple times, and y'all don't know my history, but basically I come from a long line of speakers, singers, judges, like performers, people who are on stage a lot. And I've been asked before, like, why I wasn't a speaker or a singer or whatever. And I truthfully felt like, there's lots of reasons why I probably wasn't. But I've just kind of been feeling God's prompting to speak more and do that and kind of develop that skill. And so it was interesting. On Wednesday, I went to a tea at our kids' school, and they had a speaker there. And she wasn't that good of a speaker. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can totally do that, right? Have you ever felt like you could just totally do that? Like I think sometimes when we see certain people who are successful, we compare ourselves to them and we're like, there's no way I could ever do that. And, you know, I grew up with, I don't know if you guys know who Beth Moore is or Louis Giglio. I grew up with those people, and I watched them develop into leaders. But I saw them after they'd kind of developed their skills, and definitely their skills are different than they were, 30 years ago. But that is who I compared myself. So I thought I could never be a speaker because I could never be a Louis Giglio or a Beth Moore or whatever. But when I heard that lady on Wednesday, I was like, I could totally do that, right? And so sometimes we just need those little bitty victories to know that we can do that. And I'll tell you guys, none of y'all are any different than anyone who's had success in this business. And, a lot of times we tend to compare ourselves, but we're comparing ourselves to their couple of years down the road. Like maybe they've been doing Instagram and Insta stories 6 months before us. We cannot compare ourselves to where they are now, because you know what? It takes a long time to turn the ship around, right? To learn a new skill, to develop that skill, it takes a really long time. When you see professional speakers, they didn't just like all of a sudden say, I want to go be a professional speaker and get on stage in front of 20,000 people and rock it, right? I mean, think about Mel Robbins. She was a TV host before she was a speaker. You know, she was developing that skill, and I'm sure she did a lot of things even before that. So I just wanted you to know tonight that you are not alone and that we can totally do this, okay? And so those are two things that I just want to start with. But if you stay the same, you aren't growing. We cannot be a part of complacency. And I feel like for me, I don't like change. I like being comfortable with doing the things that I do. I want to figure it out and leave it. Like when I decorate my house, I want it to stay the same, you know, and every once in a while I want to decorate it differently, but I just kind of like the order of just doing the same thing, right? I have kind of a, if it ain't broke mentality, don't fix it. You know, like I just want to figure it out. And, you know, because a lot of this stuff is hard for me. I also saw that fear, like, what if I fail at this? I saw that fear was kind of coming in the way of my growth. I saw that laziness was coming in the way of my growth, right? Like, I just don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to, you know, have to work hard. I saw that that was coming. I saw my perfectionist tendencies. Like I just, no, I do it this way and I have it all perfect and I don't want to change it. And having to ask for help. When you're a perfectionist, it's hard for you to ask for help and change things. And I think when I also felt overwhelmed, you know, of like, oh my gosh, I have to learn something new. I apologize for my puppy is barking. Hope y'all can't hear her, but you probably can. Okay, so this is what I did. I learned. I poured myself into learning, I found outside help. I poured myself into learning. I'm in a 10-star group or a 9-star and above group, and every Friday I go in that group and I learn from other leaders and I study and I, you know, start reading personal development. And so that's something I do. I started doing. I not only learned, but I also started to do. I started to do the things that I was learning. And I was not good at it at first. And I'm still not good at some things. And I'm still fumbling forward. But I am trying. I have to do the things that I'm learning, not just learning. I also threw out wasn't working for me. And let me tell you, throwing out what wasn't working is not easy because it's, again, I like comfort and I like doing the things that are comfortable. And so I threw out wasn't working and I focused on what moved the needle forward. So I changed my social media to be more story driven. And if you've watched me, you've known that I've been doing that. And again, it's taking a long time to turn the ship around. I started Instagram. I went back to making friends on Instagram, making friends. And we're going to teach that, making friends. We're going to teach that next week. This week, I'm going to start teaching you about how to make friends on social media. I looked at my schedule. I wrote out my schedule, the things that I had to do, and I figured out what were the necessities and what were things that I had to cross out. I figured out how much things took me, how much time it took me, and kind of prioritized and threw some things out. I evaluated our team and what our team needed. And I got uncomfortable and I let go of things that made me feel good. Like the things that I do that make me feel good. So we have some changes coming to our team. And so that's why you guys are on this call. We have a little Rockstar remix. And I'm so very excited. I don't know if you saw my social media, and hopefully you were on the YouTube video that we did last Saturday, a week ago, this past Saturday, and you were like, why is Stephanie in Colorado and why is she with these 4 girls that I don't know who they are? Let me tell you guys, I am so dedicated to making this happen that I reached out to my friend Erin. I spoke with her at Summit and I said, I need a mastermind. Who do you know that's working the business, having success? Let's get together. And I have a place in Colorado. We can stay for free. Let's go. And so she said, I know a couple people that are like-minded that are rocking the business. And so she's like, I'll get it together. And I was like, okay. I had never met a couple of those girls that we went with. But here I am. I'm like, I want to learn. I'm willing. I'm ready. I want this for our team. And so I'm going to get uncomfortable and go on a weekend trip with girls I don't know. And it was amazing. Amber Kuiper, if you know, she spoke at Leadership, and we posted her videos about Take Back the Kitchen and what they've done with Daily Sunshine. Meg Kozlowski is a coach under Janelle Summers, who's been in the top 10 and close to the top 10 years for several years, Million Club. Kelsey Shackley is killing it in Instagram. She is doing an awesome thing with this mentorship, and her and her husband, she was an elite coach this year, premier coach, had signed up 23 coaches in January, or maybe February. She signed up a crap ton of coaches, and she is doing a really good job. And then of course, Erin, my friend that I spoke with, is so amazing at what she does. So I just went and I learned from them, and I was like, okay, we're going to throw out some of the things that I'm really comfortable with. And they challenged me to that. And I'm going to help us move the needle forward and experience growth, because that's why we're here. It is great to be buddies, but we need to make money as well, right? So, and if we could do both at the same time, that's my goal. So, so we are making these changes to our team. Now, I know that there are people on this team, I think most that have upline support, okay? If you have upline support, meaning your upline has training for you that is different than what is on the Rockstar International page, some of these things are not for you, because I develop my team a little bit different than other teams. I feel like it's not about me. And so what I have done in my leadership, and this has been true, once my coaches get to Diamond or Star Diamond, they start developing their own team. They start developing their own training. And I still help them along with that, but I feel like it's very, very important for them to establish their leadership and establish their own culture of their team. And so we did that from the get-go. I did that from my coach, because his culture was so different than what I was recruiting. My coach was into NASCAR and into P90X, and he was into like those kind of things, and hit the people MMX and fighting. I don't know what guys those dudes do, but he was like a very dude culture. And I was bringing in these stay-at-home moms, and it was a very different culture. So I decided to kind of start my own team. So, but there are coaches on this call. There are coaches in the Rockstars International that do not have upline support. Okay. There are coaches do not have training. And so these things that we're implementing are for you. Now, so, we're doing a couple things that are for you. So make sure you ask your upline, if your upline has training, that's awesome. You want to stick to what your upline is doing, because they are knowing, and they may end up adopting some of the things that I'm teaching right now. So I know for sure that Joy's coaches and Lauren's coaches have their own training that are separate, and then Amber and my Star Diamonds have Corey. They all have stuff that is specific to their team, and so you definitely want to stick to what they're doing. But those that are orphaned, those that do not have upline support, this is for you. Okay. The problem is that because we have some orphan coaches, because we have some coaches that do not have upline support, it was very difficult for me to help them, because I couldn't figure out who needed help and that sort of thing. And so we had some lost coaches, and I was trying to figure out how to help that. So one of the main things we're going to do is we're going to have things called success pods. Okay. In these success pods, these are Facebook Messenger threads where we will have their growth threads. Okay. These are not for just regular coaches who just want to sing Kumbaya and, just be a part of a community. That is what the team page is for, community, fun. And we're still going to do what we do in the team page, but these are growth groups. So here's the deal. So say JC is a brand new coach because I see your cute smiley face. I'm going to use your example. Say JC is a coach. She's just getting started, okay? So what she's going to do is she's going to join the thread that is for coaches. She's going to join the coach thread. Then all of a sudden, JC is an Emerald coach. And so we celebrate JC in the coach group and say, okay, JC is moving on up to the Emerald group. And so she moves on up to the Emerald thread. So we have an Emerald thread for the Emeralds, okay? Those Emeralds, again, we're pushing, this is a growth group. We're sharing what's working. This is a positive, motivating group. I will share tips in there. We will share best practices in there. But this is a growth group, not a complain group. This is a push group, okay? So we will have the Emerald thread. Then all of a sudden, JC's got 4 coaches under her. You know what? JC is starting to look like a diamond. So she's going to go in the cubic zirconia group. Okay? She's starting to look like diamond. Anyone, if y'all don't know what a cubic zirconia is, it's like a fake diamond. So she's like almost diamond. She's starting to get it? Get it? Okay. So she's going to move on up to the CZ group. So she's saying sayonara to the Emerald group and she's moving on up. And then she's in the Emerald, the CZ group, and she is moving on up, and she's moving on up to the Diamond group, okay? And then we'll have a progression like that. We will celebrate you. We will have excited, and this is going to be helpful for me. For those coaches who are lost, I know where they are, and I know how to help them, okay? This is helpful for my personally sponsored coaches so that they get other interaction. This is just going to be a really cool thing for our team. Okay, so those are our success pods. And again, these are only for those whose upline does not have training. And I want to be very clear on that. Okay, that was my most exciting part to share. But this other stuff's really good too. But I'm so excited about these success pods. Those that are in Kelsey's doing this for her group, and it's just been blowing up, and they're just like rocking it, and it's just been really great. It's an accountability group, and it's been really awesome to watch. Okay, team calls. Okay, we are all about growth, right? And there is so much training out there. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on in the 1-3-5 group because it's just everything is coming at me, right? And then I have the Beachbody Challenge page, and I have a National Wake Up Call, and there is so much dang training out there that it's overwhelming. Anyone else feel overwhelmed? Yes? Okay, so here, I'm going to help you guys. We are only going to have a team call once a month, where it's going to be like this. Well, I'll go over some training, or I'll kind of share what our plan is for the month. We're going to have a team call once a month. We will have a big team call still on the 3rd week. So we'll have it at 8 o'clock on the first Monday of the month. On the 3rd Monday of the month, we will have the big team call. And that's for the big downline, where we have 5-star diamonds that will be sharing best practices and best tips and stuff like that. So we will only have a call basically 2 times a month. Okay, 1st and 3rd. On the 2nd week of the month, we will be having a week-long sneak peek. And we're going to do it a little bit different. I'm really excited. And we will I will be sharing once a day, just different things. I'll have those that invite the most people get to share in the group. Those that they get to share their success story, and we will highlight those people who invite the most people. Okay. We will have a week-long sneak peek. On the 4th week, we will have a meet and greet. And that's just going to be a casual, like, hey, wear your PJs, grab a glass of wine or your hot tea or your decaf coffee, and we're going to talk what coaching is all about, okay? And that is going to be on the 3rd Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, okay? So that's going to be a meet and greet. So you get to come and meet and greet and meet our team and get to know us a little bit better and see if this is a good fit for you, okay? So that's what we're doing. As far as training goes, we have the Beachbody Champions page. We have the National Wake Up Call. We have the 1-3-5 group. We have so much going on in training. So I don't feel like we need a lot of other training. What I will do is I will be pushing training in the pods. I will be pushing training on our team page. So as needed, I'm going to be doing training. Like I'm going to be training this week. Hopefully this week. I may end up waiting until next week because we had a surprise guest speaker, a surprise announcement at the end of this call that I'll tell you about. So that kind of changed my plans this week. But we have a couple things I want to show you guys. So we have a website, beachbodyrockstars.com. Did y'all know that? Did you know we have a team website? We do. And in that website, we have training. I have updated our training because it was old for our new coaches. And so I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Hold on a second. Dun, 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 dun. All right, can y'all see it? Can y'all see the website? Okay, so your coaches, there is a website, new coaches start here, and there are 8 videos for your coaches here. And it talks to them about, and the password is BB Rockstar, and I've redone different websites, okay? So this has all the different, this has just kind of the basics for your new coaches, okay? In the 8th training for them, it will send them the link to join the, right here, it will take them to the Beachbody, our Coach Basics page, okay? The Coach Basics is gonna be self-paced. For those that haven't seen, I put like post 1, post 2. I have a ton of files on this, on the left side. And then I just have, they will go self-paced and go through the training, okay? Once they go through the training, then they will get a free Rockstar tank t-shirt or tank or t-shirt for going through the training, okay? So a new coach you'll have a welcome email to them that we will have for you. They will have the link that they can either do a welcome email series. So when they have those 8 videos, they can set up for an email for it. If they want to go faster paced, then they can go straight to the website. And then they will also have the option to go through Coach Basics. The reason that we have this self-paced is because people go at different paces. You know, you're going to have coaches who are discount coaches. You're going to have coaches who are ready to rock. And so you want them to go at the pace that they're most comfortable at. It's important for you to follow up with those new coaches and find out where they are. But we're going to kind of plug them into doing, you know, and not overwhelm them with training. Yes, there's going to be training, but let's do it as they need it. So that they don't feel so overwhelmed. We want to get them plugged in and doing as soon as possible. So we have changed the Coach Basics to be self-paced, and then we have the new coach training that will be for them, those emails, okay? So that is what we're doing. Plus we have the pods, we have the team page. I'm also going to be providing free groups that I do. I did a water group last month. I'm going to be doing a veggie group this month. I'm most likely the next month going to be doing a woman who doesn't quit group. So as I do those groups, I will share those with you. And then also we're compiling some of the groups that I've done in the past. So we're working on that. That probably won't be ready till later this month, but I am working on those free groups, okay? So we have training, we have sneak peeks, we have team call, we talked about success pods. The next thing we're going to talk about is recognition. So for recognition on the Beachbody Rockstar page, we will have the monthly personal volume. We will have the monthly top 10. And then we have Rockstar of the Week. Now, a lot of you have seen Rockstar of the Week and are like, what is that? How do you get nominated? We have let that Diamond coaches use that to for them to highlight someone. But now we're going to leave that open to everyone in the Rockstars International page for you to message Krista, my assistant, and nominate people for Rockstar of the Week. Okay? So, because we, again, we have orphan coaches in our downline that need a little bit of attention. So that is kind of what we need. So we have the Rockstar of the Week, and then rank advancements. And that is a great place for you to shout out your coaches about their rank advancements as they go and answer questions there. Personally, I'm going to still be doing, I am not setting up my Acuity for my personally sponsored coaches, at least for the next 2 months, because I want to work a little bit more often and more closely with my coaches who are growing. And so I'm not setting up my Acuity because I feel like I want to be working as needed. So I want to be in communication more often with my coaches. And then as needed for a call, I'm going to be allowing people to message me and set up times like that, because I feel like that's going to be a better use of my time. As I looked at my schedule, like so many, y'all would freak out how many hours I'm on calls. And so while I love it because it fills my cup, I also wasn't helping my coaches and keeping them accountable and helping them move forward. So I'm changing some things personally, but my goal is not to not talk to my coaches. It's actually to communicate with my coaches more often, and I want to hear from my coaches more often than I was. And I felt like for them to set up a call with me, there was like this barrier or something that I felt, and so that's why I'm gonna kind of stop that. I'm also going to change my challenge group. Personally, I'm changing my challenge group name to a boot camp and kind of changing it up every month to call it something different, because I call it a challenge group and it's boring. And then I'm also changing the posture of how I present the business. When I hired Cody to help me, he goes, I don't know that you are, I see that you're a mom to some boys that are athletic, but I don't know that you are a leader among Beachbody. I don't know that. And so a lot of times we don't share our success, and maybe you don't, or you're like, Stephanie, I am not successful. I'm not even paying for my Shakeology, but there's a posture. There's a posture in knowing where you're going, a posture of knowing your goals, a posture of knowing we have the tools to make this happen and you can make it happen. And it's a posture of I can mentor other people to be successful. And even if you haven't earned a lot of money, you can still be a mentor to someone, because no matter where you are, you're further along than someone else. Does that make sense? You're further along than the person that is signing up. You are a part of a team that is really successful. The team that you are a part of has so many in the, probably, I think in the downline, 5 in the Million Club at least. Over 5 elite coaches in the downline. I don't even know how many. I mean, our downline is so big. We have over 20, close to 20,000 people in our downline. You are a part of an organization that has 20,000 people. So if you can't be confident in what you've done so far, I want you to be confident in the team that you've aligned yourself with. Does that make sense? Because a lot of times, I wasn't successful when I started, but I saw Robert and Melissa be successful. And so I saw them. So I was like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And I was a part of their team, right? So even though I hadn't achieved it yet, I knew it was possible because I watched them do it. Does that make sense? And so I want you guys to posture yourself as being mentors, to mentor other people to have success, because you are a part of a group that is successful. Okay? So those were the main things that I wanted to share. In an effort to, I'm still serious about us being a 15-star team. And I have a very exciting announcement. I found out today that Carl Deichler is going to do a special team call for us on Wednesday at 2 o'clock Central. So it'll be a Zoom call that he's going to do for our team at 2 o'clock Central. I'll probably push it live if I can. I think I sent him the wrong link. But anyway, so it will be a team call for us, and I'm very, very excited about that. And he's just doing it for us just because. So he's going to be on a call for us on Wednesday at 2 o'clock Central. I know a lot of, some of you work and can't make it, but see if you can hop on our call at 2 o'clock Central on Wednesday. I'll have an event for that, and you'll start seeing that. So it's kind of exciting, right? Kind of fun. A lot of exciting things for our team. I'm like, it made me so nervous. I wanted to throw up. I was like, Carl's on our team. I mean, I've known him for literally 11 years. And every time I talk to him, I just say stupid things, like dumb things. I'm like, gosh, like he's a celebrity or something. So anyway, that's really what I wanted to share with you guys right now. And my goal is that we grow, and I hope that that I'm going first. I'm going before you. I'm working really hard to grow and learn and, get rid of the things that are holding me back. And so I want to encourage you to do the same. I'm really excited. We started kind of implementing some of the things that we learned, like that Meg taught on that call, the YouTube, when she did like the, friend 10 people from 2 influencers, and then the 3, So I wanted to see if this worked. I love friends. I love people. It's not a hard thing for me to make friends. So what I did is I asked Krista, and some of you know who Krista is. She's my assistant. I asked her, I was like, hey, I just want to see if this works. Like this, because let's see if this works. It works for me because I've never met a stranger, so I love making friends. And that day, by the end of the day, I had calls set up with new people. I had like all these messages from people, like real legit messages from people. My Instagram feed was so much more exciting. Like there were all these people. I had more people looking at my Insta stories. And I was like, oh my gosh. I had like all these conversations going, and because she was logged in as me. And so she was just starting these conversations. And I was like, how did you do that so easily? Like our coaches are struggling. And how are you doing that so easily? And she goes, I had no fear. I didn't care what the outcome was. I was just making friends. That's our goal. That's our goal, guys. Not caring what the outcome is, just making friends. And what if you weren't allowed to talk about Beachbody for a month with the people that you're messaging? Would it change the way you feel about messaging people? Would it change your fear? I have it too, guys. I've had it too. Like, what if they say no? What if you're just messaging people because you really authentically like her shirt and want to know where she got it? Right? What if you really do think her baby's adorable? That authentic relationship we're really going to work on this month. Building authentic relationships with not wanting anything in return. And I'm telling you, if Krista, who's not a coach, can do it, we can do it, right? Again, we talked about the very beginning of this call. Yes, it is daunting sometimes to learn new things, but we're not alone. And then we talked about we can totally do this. Krista did it. She made a crap load of friends for me, and she's not a coach. Like, she doesn't know what she's doing, right? She was just making friends. And it was like, that's what we're missing. We're missing just that authentic, let's make friends, let's figure it out. We can do it. We're no different than anyone else. And so I'm very, very excited about where our team is going right now. So if you guys have any calls, you can unmute or any questions. This is the end of our call, and I did do it really good. I did it in 35 minutes. But if you guys have some questions or comments about where we're going, feel free to ask, because this is a good time to ask. So feel free to unmute your line and share any questions or concerns or any questions you might have.
I'll start. This is Shanna. I am one of Stephanie's personal sponsor coaches, and I have a team of builders underneath myself, like JC, and I see Rebecca here, and there's several on here. So with our team is, even though I am a lifetime diamond, we are still going to do our large team calls with Stephanie. So I like the direction she's heading with this is streamlining, because for the team that I have, I'm not ready to branch off yet. And we do trainings within our own team, and we're going to continue that, and the threads and things like that. So I really like how Stephanie is changing up things. I've been with her now for almost 6 years in May. So you would think by now I should be on my own, which I'm not, but that's okay, because you know what? This is where God has me, and this is my chapter. This isn't her chapter. And I'm excited, because we're growing, and I'm growing as a person, and I still love what I do. I still love my job. I just did our taxes. I'm still making money. It's providing, and honestly, it was really, I say I'm making money. I'm making very little because I do a tax write-off. So I've done a taxes. I'm not having to pay in taxes, even though I'm making a good salary yet. So not like Stephanie, she has to write the big check at the end of the year, and I don't have to write that check, and I am very happy about that. It's in my pocket at the moment. So thank you for taking and just stepping out of your comfort zone. You're definitely taking a new approach on this as a leader. So I'm excited, guys. I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for us to grow and get out of our comfort zones and try new things, because with the allegories and Facebook and social media, it's changing. Whatever we were doing a year ago is not the same today. And that is how fast it was. So everything we did 5 years ago is totally obsolete.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah, and that's hard, because you kind of get in a rhythm and you want to stay in that rhythm, and it's really hard, but you have to branch out and move on. So
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you, Shanna. Did anyone else have any comments, questions, concerns? Anything, Bueller? Okay, please, anyone, questions? Okay, so this is a really great book. I would highly suggest this be the book of the month for you. It is called Building a Strong Brand. We are all marketers. All of us are marketers. Do you know that every time you post on social media, you're trying to sell something? Whether it's trying to sell that you have really great kids or really cute kids, every time you posted social media, you were trying to sell something. So a lot of times what we post is not getting heard, okay? Because people can't relate, their attention span's super fast. So every time your post, you're selling something, and so don't you want to actually sell something, right? So Building a Story Brand is going to be the book that we're going to read this month. It's very good. It's very good. You already read it. Good.
It's on my iPad.
We're going to really start talking this month about our closing rate and our growth and what that looks like. So those were a couple of things that I wanted to point out to you guys. But yeah, so this will be our book for the month. Okay. Now I'll have all the pods. I'll start the pods probably tomorrow. I'll probably do a post, and then you can tell me what pod you need to be in, and then I'll have Krista start adding y'all to those pods. And then so we'll kind of start that way. And then we're just gonna go keep accountable, hey, kind of ring the bell when we sell a customer, or coach or whatever. We'll just kind of keep it exciting and move forward. And then, if we end up needing to do a Zoom call, amongst the pod, we can do that. If y'all need a little extra help with different things, questions or whatever, we can do that. But I'm really excited about, moving the team forward. So anyway, hopefully you guys are as excited. I couldn't even sleep last night. I was so excited about this call. I jumped out of bed. I was so excited. It was I'm literally almost today, at noon, I was maybe I should just do the call right now. I'm so excited. So hopefully you guys are as excited as I am. I know this is going to be, there's a lot of growth potential for our team. And so thank you guys for spending your night, even though The Bachelor's on. So I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the pods. Bye, guys.